Hi, and welcome to Society, Earth, and the Environment. I'm Miss Williams. I am your instructor. I'm a real person. It's kind of weird, these online classes. You don't really get to meet in person too much. But again, I am Miss Williams. I am formerly Miss Geary. So you'll see me listed on your, as your instructor as Miss Geary. But the college just has not updated my name yet. So I am Miss Williams, and I will be from here on out, hopefully. Anyway, moving on to this class. So I'm going to go over a bunch of things that is already in the Engage site, things that I have on the syllabus, that I have in Getting Started, that I have in How to Be Successful in This Class, that I hope that you read, but sometimes many people don't. So maybe you watch the video and you get it here. So I am going to share my screen with you, and we are going to take a look at the course format, and stuff that you should be doing to help you be successful in this class. Now, I have this course set up so that you should be able to do very well. And I'll show you how, okay? Let's see here. One thing, I am not your lab instructor. So lecture is completely separate from lab in this class, because at Utica College, you are not required to take the lab if your degree program does not require it. So that is something that I cannot answer for you individually. I don't know your degree program and what those requirements are. So if you have that question, if you need to take the lab or not, please talk to your academic advisor. And if you have questions regarding lab, I also do not teach that class, so I cannot answer those questions. Please refer to your lab instructor, okay? So now let's go to your course. I'm just in one of the course shells, okay? And I have editing on so that we can see everything. Your student view, of course, is going to look a little different than this. And if I look like I'm not looking at you and making eye contact, that's because I have a couple monitors going on. So it's easier for me to look up than it is to look out up on my big screen as opposed to my little screen. So moving on, okay? Where you see Getting Started over here in these little folder modules, you want to click on that, and you want to read this, How to Be Successful in This Class. How to be successful. Read me ASAP. I'm not kidding. Okay, so open that up and read through it. I will highlight some of the things that are really important. So for example, the 3 major tasks that you have to do in this class is review all of your weekly material, submit 2 posts for every discussion forum, and take your tests. Now, you only have tests in this class. You do not have quizzes aside from the syllabus quiz, okay? So 4 tests, 1 syllabus quiz, a bunch of discussions, and review your material. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's go to a weekly folder. In each weekly folder, you will see everything that you need to do. It tells you, here's what you should be doing or be able to do by the end of this week. Here are your learning activities, and here is your assignment. So you should be reading the chapter in your textbook, because that is the foundation of learning in this class. Read your text on philosophy and fundamental concepts. The name of the PowerPoint is the same as the name of the chapter, okay? So we're going to open up this PowerPoint here, and I'm going to talk about it momentarily. When you are going through these PowerPoints, and I hope that you go through them meticulously, you will notice things that I've added, like big stars, okay? One of the things that drove me absolutely crazy when I was in school is that I would study very hard. I would study everything, my notes, tests, quizzes, the book, everything that was available to me. I studied it. And I would get on exams and I would go, where'd this come from? I don't remember seeing this. I would have studied it if I'd have known it was going to be on the test. It used to drive me nuts. Okay. You're not going to have that problem. Pay attention to the stars. This is what I make test questions out of. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Pay attention extra to that stuff. Review that stuff. Make sure you know that stuff. That stuff, stars, is built upon everything else. Okay, the foundation. So don't just be like, oh, I only got to look at the stars. You're not going to learn anything. Okay, you're going to be like, oh, here's a definition, or let's see, here's the concept of applied geology, but really, like, what does that mean? No, you need the foundation. Okay, don't ignore everything else and just look at the stars. You're not going to do yourself any favor. But when it comes time for studying, the stars are there to help you focus on what you should be studying. So do that. Now let's go back. Okay, so these links here, the Big Bang Theory, Egypt's population boom, I want you to review those. They are in your folder for a reason, because they are part of the course content and they are part of your Carnegie hours that you need to complete in order to qualify as having done this course, okay? So you get graded on this. I want you to understand that when I go in and look at what you're doing in the class, it's almost kind of like creeperish that I can see everything you've done, when you did it, how many times. I just can't see from where. Like, I can't see your computer number, but I can see where, when, and how many. So when I go into your profile on my course shell, if you didn't click and watch the Big Bang Theory link, I know. And you lose credit for not doing that. Okay. So understand, you don't earn credit for doing like normal parts of the course. You lose credit for not doing normal parts of the course. And I expect you to actually do it. So when you're reading through the syllabus and the getting started, and it talks about actually watching the videos and reading the articles, and how do I know? Because sometimes students think that they're going to be clever and they're just going to go click, click, click on to the next one. And I'm going to go to this week and I'm going to go click, click, click. And I'm going to open all of these and, oh, hey, I opened it. I get my, no. I know how long these videos are. I know how long the articles are. I expect you to actually watch them and actually read them. So if you're just getting all click happy and doing everything together, I know that doesn't count for you. Okay. So don't do that. Do the course. Okay. You're here to learn something. I mean, it's a pretty cool course. I think so. You know, rocks are quite fascinating. I mean, check them out. We're at the Garden of the Gods here. Rocks are cool. You ever seen a feature like this? Here, let me blow it up for you really quick. I'll stop sharing my screen for just a moment. Sandstone spires. These things are incredible. This is out in Colorado. And then what's really cool about these, so you're standing underneath these, and these are like a couple 1,000-foot towers of these rock layers that the earth just smashed together and turned sideways and then eroded all of the soil away to make these fantastic, well, erosional features. Most things cool on the earth's surface are due to erosion. Okay. And they're massive. When you're standing underneath them, it's like, whoa, they are so cool. And then you go 20 miles away and you drive, or you hike, or you drive up Pikes Peak. And these things look like teensy tiny little, they look like cornflakes on the ground, because you're 14,000 feet up in the sky looking down on them from Pikes Peak. It's fascinating. If you ever have an opportunity to visit a part of our country, go to Garden of the Gods, go to Pikes Peak. It's pretty cool. So geology is really cool. And we're gonna look at the environmental part of geology, right? Kind of how the earth influences humans and how humans influence the earth, kind of that, combination of that relationship of us to our planet. So I really like this course because it bridges the gap between geology and environmental science. So it's kind of neat. Okay, so let's go back. I'll share my screen again. All right. So then, okay, going back, we'll just look at week one more time really quick so I can point out that in order to complete your discussion post, you have to do two. You have to do your original thought and your response to someone in your class, okay? So you're gonna click on this thing and it's gonna bring you to the discussion forum, but in order to be able to respond appropriately, you have to have watched or read whatever the associated links are, okay? And in this case, it's these two, okay, but then we're gonna talk specifically about Egypt's population boom. So you watch that and then you say, you respond to the question. There should be a prompt question in here. Yes, okay, here's your prompt question. And then it says, here's the link again, okay, review this article and give me your thoughts. And so you give me your thought, whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't have to be super lengthy, okay? A couple of sentences is more than enough. So these discussion forums, they're really not horrible. It's more like just kind of starting a conversation between your classmates. It's not something that I'm gonna, go in and check for citations and things like that. It's not a paper. It's just your opinion, your thought, anything that you want to share, in your experience or from your review of the article, whatever. And then you can respond to your classmate. Now, keep it courteous in this class, okay? There's really not any reason for anyone, to get malicious, but you know how society is these days. When you're behind your screen, we get quite bold and can be quite rude at times. So let's not do that to each other. Okay, be kind. We're all just trying to pass this class. Okay, so that's how you do that. So when I go through and I read your posts, I'm looking for 2 submissions from you for full credit. Okay, if you only get one, you'll get half credit for that post. If you're somebody who's like getting in a conversation, that's great. That's what I want to have happen, but you don't get more credit for doing more posts. If you want to do that on your own, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying the class, but you only need the 2 to get the full credit. So week 1, it was Egypt's population boom. It was the same, name of the article and name of the forum, but in week 2, okay, we have a few kind of planetary processes links for you to review. And then the name of the discussion is Deep Quake. So Deep Quake's kind of all encompassing of what you're doing here in this week, okay? So it's not always going to be the same name as, the link before. Okay, so, okay, I gotta remember to talk about grace periods. You have your tests, you can lose credit for not reviewing course material, what to pay attention to when you are studying for an exam, and then exams. Okay, so on here, we're gonna go back to getting started, and we're gonna review your course schedule. Now, I want you to follow this precisely, okay? But I understand that we all have our own lives and work and obligations and family, that sometimes we just can't get things done at the suggested time. It happens. You can work ahead as much as you want in this class. You want to spend every waking moment going through and getting up to midterms in the first couple of weeks, do it. Do that. I used to do that as much as I could in my classes. It saved me when it came to like writing term papers and stuff. You can absolutely do that in this class. You can work ahead as much as you want. Just please don't get behind, because I hate taking off points for lateness, but I have to do it because it's fair. Okay, so let's look at your course schedule. This is it's a calendar format, okay? And it has every single thing on here that you need to pay attention to. Oh, so I don't have control of rolling my classes over from my master site to my course shell. The Engage people do that. So I guess they did it before I updated the fall schedule. So don't worry, the correct schedule, this one that I now have up, will be in there. And I'm not updating this video every single semester. So just know that your course schedule will be for the semester that you're enrolled. Okay. So into the future of the 22s and the 23s and whatever, you will have your appropriate schedule, and the way that it works is the same. So let's take a look. Read this stuff, what the white and the red lettering indicate. Okay. These are suggestions. So semester starts in fall of 21 on August 30th. And so I kind of give you like a freebie day, right? And on Tuesday, I expect you to read Get Started, chapter 1. Okay. Wednesday, review the material in the week 1 folder. And by Thursday, you should complete the week 1 discussion. Now, we just reviewed week 1. That's not a crap ton of stuff to do. Okay. Read your chapter, review your materials, do your discussion. Boom, you're done for the week. You want to do that all in one day? Go for it. You want to do that on Monday instead of Thursday? Go for it. You want to wait until the weekend? Fine by me. Do it when you want to, as long as it's done on time. Okay, so that's the rule. Now, on time is by your tests. Okay, so listen, if you're a person who's like, oh, I got into my test, don't wait. This is together a lot of stuff to do. It's a lot of review, because the reviewing takes time, because remember, you can't just click and I got it done. Nope, you got to actually watch it and read it. So don't wait, just do your work in the week. Be like, okay, this is the day I'm going to do environmental geology. Okay. And do your work. But I won't take off credit. Okay. If it's turned in prior to the appropriate test. Okay. So if you don't do your week 2 discussion until week 3, I'm not going to take off credit. Okay. But I will take off credit for things being late. Now, with your tests, test 1, and then we have test 2. So look, test 1 is due on the 26th of September, which is a Sunday, by midnight. Okay. Here it says all the material in weeks 1 through 3 has been reviewed. Discussions have been completed. Any extra credit should be mailed to the instructor, and the student should complete test 1. You have a file on your Engage site that is for extra credit. And if you're doing extra credit, you have 3 options. You can do chapter outlines, chapter vocab, and you can do this for every single chapter. It will give you a total of 3 grade points. So if you only do vocabs, you get 1 point, because those are easy. Vocabs are any of the highlighted, bold-faced words in your chapter. If you're going to do chapter outlines, which is like summary and paraphrasing all the different sections in each chapter, which is actually a really good way to study, you get a total of 2 points. You can do 1 or none. So if you do 5 chapter vocabularies, you get 5 out of however many vocabularies there could be done. So you get a percentage added to your final grade. Okay. So doing all the vocabs and doing all the outlines can give you up to 3 whole grade points, which is the difference between a letter grade or a plus or a minus. And it happens all the time. Students who do the extra credit, they get that, that bump up. Extra credit should be emailed to me. Okay, there is no Dropbox, nowhere to submit it on the Engage site. I just put it to my email. Also, only email me your questions. Don't do messages on Engage. I have Engage set up so that it's supposed to default it to my inbox. I'm not logging into Engage every single day to go check the messages. I go to Engage when I need to fix something on a site, review your work, okay, which isn't every day, multiple times a day. However, I'm checking my email every day, multiple times a day, okay, but not on the weekends, and that's one of my rules. Weekends are mine. If you email me over the weekend, please do not expect a response until at some point on Monday, okay? Okay, so that's that. Now, test. So you have test 1, and then test 2 is due on Friday, what is this? October 22nd, a Friday, not a Monday. And the reason for that is because midterms are due on this weekend. It's weird the way the college does that, okay? Now, this brings us to the grace period. You have 2 grace periods, one at midterms and one at finals. Okay. If you didn't take test 1 on time, it's on you. You have to let me know that you need to take it because I need to go reopen it. And I will only reopen it up until the grace period. So if you're like, oh, shoot, test 1 was due. I forgot. Oh no, I need to take it. I can't have a 0 on a test. Don't freak out. Shoot me an email. Miss Williams, I was on the soccer bus. I don't even care what your excuse is. You just plumb forgot. It happens. No problem. Let me know. I'll go in. I'll do an override. You can take your test. It's going to cost you 20 points because everybody else did their test on time. Okay. So 20 points, but some points are better than no points, especially when it comes to your exam. Like you'll fail the class if you don't take your test. But you have that safety net of the grace period, okay? And the grace period applies to all of the work in this class, your discussions, your reviewing your materials in each week, and your exams. So if you do things late, I will take off points, but I will allow you to turn them in up until your grace period. Now, here's what happens at midterms. I go through each and every one of your profiles and I collect all my grades. I look at all my materials review. I double check to make sure you've done all your discussions, you know, and I get a percentage of each of those gradable items and I grab your test grades and I turn that into your midterm grade. After this grace period, after midterm grades, don't even, I mean, you can do the discussion if you want to, but you're not going to get credit for it for weeks 1 through 8. You want to do extra credit, good for you. It doesn't count towards your grade for weeks 1 through 8. Okay. You didn't review the material, but now you're like, oh, I want to check out that video. Great. Doesn't count for weeks 1 through 8 if you do it after October 22nd. Okay. So that's your safety net, that's your wiggle room. And then the same concept applies for the second grace period. So the second grace period ends at the end of the semester, which I've set it on December 12th. The last day of class is December 10th. This is when test 4 is due. And you have this 2-day, you know, extra period where if you're like, oh my God, I forgot test 4, I was studying for finals. Well, email me. I'll give you an override and you can take it up until the 12th by midnight. Okay. And then the same for all of the materials from weeks 9 through 14. You forgot to review something. You forgot to do a discussion forum. You wanted to turn in extra credit. You missed test 3, any of those. You can do at any time. The only thing that you need permission for is exams. That's the only thing that I have to do an override. Everything else you can just do. Okay. And you have until grace period to turn it in. So the white lettering here, you know, in each week, these are your suggestions. This is when I would like to see your work submitted. But you have until the grace period to turn that work in, the appropriate grace period, first versus second, weeks 1 through 8, and then weeks 9 through 14 for first and second grace period. And if you do your exams late, it's a 20-point penalty. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. If not, shoot me an email, read the thing I wrote because maybe it's clearer there in getting started how to be successful in this class and then repeat it on your syllabus. Tests you can take twice, 2 times, okay? And I want everyone to do this. Now, the reason for it is there's dual purpose, okay? So this is an online class and your snotty little brother comes up and slaps your laptop down when you're in the middle of a test. It's going to submit and screw you over on half of that. Whatever you didn't finish, you're going to have nothing answered and you're going to get a bad grade. It happens. Or same scenario, only your internet crashes and it boots you out of the exam, and anything that you didn't have an answer for already is going to get submitted and it's going to mess with your grade. Things happen that are out of our control sometimes. If this happens to you, don't worry. Don't worry. You don't got to email me. You don't got to freak out. Nothing. You just go take it again. That's what the second attempt is for. Okay. Now, if you are fortunate that you made sure that you were ready to take your test, you were in a distraction-reduced environment, and you have a stable internet connection, and you did your whole exam start to finish, and you're done, and you don't love your grade, well, go back into that test, look at the answers you got wrong, go study that material, take it again. That's how tests work. Every single one you can take twice. I hope to see everybody take each exam twice to take advantage of the safety net if anything catastrophic happens, or to do better the second time. Now listen, something catastrophic happens and you're like, but I need both of them. No, that's what the safety net is for. Something catastrophic happens, you just do the second attempt. Okay, there's no third attempts. You already get a second. You know, it's like I give you an inch, I don't do a mile. Okay. So twice, that's it. Now, unless something catastrophic happens both times and you have a failing grade, then I will consider an extenuating circumstance. Let me know. But that is rare that happens. Okay. I think that's it. Let's just look really quick. Here's your how to be successful. Read that. Here's your extra credit if you want to do it. Oh, extra credit. So there's one other thing that you can do for extra credit, which is actually my favorite extra credit assignment, is the science behind the music. So it's you can do it one time, and I will add up to 10 points onto your lowest test grade. So if you do very well and you follow all the directions and you submit a stellar paper, up to 10 points. So a maximum of 10 points can be added. Now, that assignment is explained in the extra credit file, but I'll give you the gist. It's basically like, so the song Led Zeppelin, Thank You, is one of the lyrics says, mountains will crumble to the sea, there will still be you and me. It's talking about erosion. Okay, so I would write a 1,000-word essay with citations and parenthetical references about erosion. Okay, and when you talk about erosion, there's so many things that you can talk about. You can talk about the formation of the rocks, because you got to form the rocks first before you can erode them away. And you can talk about the different types of erosion, you know, the physical and the chemical processes that break down a rock to create those little bits that then get moved around the earth and creates fantastic features like the Garden of the Gods. Okay, you can easily write 1,000 words on any single one rock topic. Okay, and it doesn't have to be specific to the earth. I mean, it would be good if it was, but considering kind of the overlap of this course, if it's something environmental, which there's a lot of songs environmental out there these days, you know, you can do that, and you just take the lyric, you consider, you know, what it's talking about. You know, in this Zeppelin song, it's, you know, mountains crumble to the sea, there will still be you and me. He's talking about, you know, an everlasting love, but the lyric refers to erosion, and that's the science behind mountains crumbling. Okay, so I like it. It's a fun assignment. I enjoy reading those too. It's kind of fun, some of the songs that I get to go look up. Some interesting stuff comes out sometimes. So that's one of your extra credit things. Now, this is your first discussion forum class, introductions. You only need to do one. You don't like need to say, hi, Brad. Okay, if you want to, you can. But this is just, you know, to kind of get you started, get you used to the discussion forum. Let me have something to tie your name to something, because, you know, I don't get to see you in person in this class. But you don't have to do 2 threads if you don't want to. Everything else 2 threads, okay? And then the syllabus quiz. Now this is important because listen, we write the syllabus for a reason. I see a lot of memes this time of year of, you know, professor, what about this? Professor, what about that? And then there's like a sign, read your syllabus. Well, I force you to, because this is 10% of your test grades. Okay, so your 4 exams is only 90% of your total test grade. Syllabus quiz is 10%. So you're gonna want to do that, or you're gonna be hard pressed to get an A in this class. So you'll use your syllabus and you'll use the Engage site, and you can get 100 on this. It's designed for you to get 100, but it's like a scavenger hunt. You have to go find the answers, which means you have to read your syllabus. Okay, and I believe that's it. One last request. When you email me anything, I don't care what it is, you got a question, you're submitting an extra credit assignment, you need your test opened, or you got a question on the test, I don't care what it is. Please include your section number. Are you Z1, Z2, or Z3? That helps me go find you, okay? If you don't include that, you'll get an email back from me that says, please tell me your section. And then once you tell me your section, I will go find you. Okay, so welcome to Society, Earth, and the Environment. I hope you have an excellent semester. And always email me if you have questions, and I will do my best to help you, and have a great semester. Okay.